Well, I won't go back to it because I never had it in the first place. I have, for better or worse, a 15-year track record of working on these kinds of issues. I wrote a book 11 years ago called The Next Deal about how we need a different kind of government and how we should deal with these economic challenges. Newt Gingrich said it was the best book written by anybody of either party on these kinds of issues. I've gone after a lot of people in my own party, and there's a lot of people in my own party who over the years have been upset at me, whether it's been people like the teachers' unions or other people like that, because of some of the things that I've stood up and done. So I have a track record of really speaking out for a long time on how we need to get rid of bureaucracy, how we need to get rid of this top-down kind of government, and really instead give people out there the ability to make decisions for their own lives and guide their own future. That's what I've always been about, and that's what I'll be about as treasurer as well.
We've both been reported to be talking about creating jobs. In reality, the treasurer's office has very little to do with creating jobs. How would you mentioned bringing them in from out of state. How would you do that? How do you plan on, what's your plan? I mean, what would you have to do with that?
In 1 minute, my plan to bring in companies from out of state. The treasurer in the portfolio owns the S&P 500 and the S&P 400. These are 900 of America's largest companies. I want to cross-reference those 900 companies by which ones are headquartered in California and which ones are headquartered in Nevada. And I want to work as the portfolio manager of the state to communicate with the chief executives of those companies. I want to get other elected leaders to stand shoulder to shoulder with me and other business leaders that have supported my campaign. And I want to visit with these folks, and I want to attract them to our state. I don't think people are going to come over immediately, but people in California, and California has unsolvable problems. Our problems are solvable. If you're a chief executive of a publicly traded company and you're a fiduciary to your shareholder, you're going to have to find a better place to headquarter your office. Texas has been great at this. There's no reason Arizona can't do this. Arizona's had people moving here from Toledo, Ohio, the Midwest, the Rust Belt, and Southern California. Why don't we have a strategy to get corporate headquarters to move here to employ people? It helps ice cream companies, it helps restaurants, helps the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. It'll help everyone, and that's something that I want to do if elected. Thank you.
I have a question. Andrei, it has been reported that you wrote, maybe this is fact, because I don't know about it, a book called Change You Can Believe In. I'd like to know a little bit about your mission there, why you wrote that book. And the other question is, do you have funding from George Soros? Is that part of your funding?
I'll answer the second question first. No, I do not have any funding from George Soros. Change We Can Believe In was a book that I provided advice on a couple years back when President Obama was running for office. Those were his ideas, and as I answered in my last question, I have my own ideas, and I have not been shy over the past 15 years in writing about them and talking about them, and they are exactly what I described to you tonight. I disagree with what has been going on in Washington over the past couple of years, and frankly the past 8 years before then as well, in terms of spending and all these things. I disagree with what's been going on in Arizona with governors of both parties, with legislature of whatever the party is over the past couple of years. I'm my own person, and I believe we need to go after the spending. That's why I want to go after these audits, and that's why I'm the only person who's going to start these audits, who's going to look at where the spending is. We have got to get spending under control. It's wrong when it's out of control in Washington, D.C. It's wrong when it's out of control in Arizona state government, too. I'm running for treasurer. I'm not running for president. I'm not running for anything else. I'm running for treasurer, and the job of the treasurer is to be the person who is fighting every single day to go after the bureaucracy and tell these people they cannot keep spending our money without accountability. We need to have somebody there who's fighting for us on this.
Two more questions. The first one, Doug. In recent years, several high-profile public artwork projects were contracted out-of-state artists. What will you do to keep these monies within the state, and would that be your job description? Would you have anything to do with that?
You know, because the treasurer is the state's banker and should be a responsible banker, it would not have a direct role for this. But when that money is coming out of the treasurer's office, what I want to do is bring to light bad ideas. And I think this stuff, I mean, it's almost amazing what's happened in our state government over the last 10 years. But part of it's because our economy was just sailing along just fine. And, you know, we were focused on our businesses and our families and our hobbies and our sports teams, because they were a lot better in the past decade than they've been recently anyway. So now we're able to focus on what's going on in government. And as treasurer, while I may not be able to stop that, I can bring that to light and use the platform of an elected leader who's third in line to the governor to make a really stupid idea world famous. On November 3rd, I think everyone that's elected is going to quit talking about what's been the news of the day and start talking about the economy. There's no one better equipped on either side of the aisle in either state slate to help fix the economy than me, and that's what I want to do. But I will call out bad ideas and make those individuals at least maybe not world famous, but state famous. Thank you.
The last question will go to both of you, so you have 1 minute to answer. We're all looking for money in the state. We all want more transparency. We all have a distrust of government right now. Will you have more transparency, specifically allowing the public to see salaries as it relates to school administrators and teachers?
I'll give a quick answer to that. Absolutely, yes. We should have all these salaries posted online, and they should be all available. That is step number one. And there's already a lot of movement in the legislature. They passed a lot of things online to be coming in a website that's going to be debuting in January. So there's been already movement happening there. As treasurer, I'm going to keep on doing it. I've been talking about that for a long time, too. But I do believe if I can take the extra 30 seconds or so to talk about the jobs, because I didn't have a chance to talk about that, I do believe that we do need to be keeping more of our dollars here. And I like that question about the out-of-state contracts going out there. We should be doing out-of-state contracts, and there's people who are doing things here too. And that's why I also believe we shouldn't be creating jobs with our Arizona investments in other countries or other places around the world. We should be looking at how can we, to the extent possible, as long as it's safe, as long as it's the best possible rate of return, creating jobs here in Arizona. And the question was, the Arizona Treasurer doesn't do much to create jobs. Absolutely. But our investments right now are creating jobs for people in Timbuktu and wherever else, because we're investing in those companies and we're investing in all those places. We should be thinking about, the same way that question was about these out-of-state contracts, what can we do to create jobs in Arizona with all these billions of dollars that are going through the Treasurer's office?
I'm going to state the question again. Will you have more transparency, specifically allowing the public to see salaries as it pertains to school administrators and teachers?
I'll make you a commitment right now. I know somebody's got a video camera there. Take me so you can hold me accountable to this. I'll bring every number to light, every salary to light, every dollar that flows through the Treasurer's office. I'll also conduct quarterly open houses in the Treasurer's office where everybody in this room or any citizen that wants to come down there and see the state's bank and get a tour of it. I think that's important. I think our people are getting more interested in what their government's doing, why their government's doing it. And we did this at Cold Stone Creamery. People thought our headquarter office on the 101 freeway in Via de Ventura was an ice cream store. But it really wasn't. It was a headquarter office. People would show up and want ice cream, so we built a store there. It worked out great because we built a great relationship with the customers. With the taxpayers, I want to invite them into the Treasurer's office to see how we do things, to get their feedback, so you can hold us accountable. Every dollar, every salary will be online, easily searchable. Thank you.
But this is a yes or no. Andrei, do you oppose Obamacare or do you support it?
Oppose.
Emphatically oppose Obamacare.
Hot button issue. I'm sure you can all guess it. Do you oppose 1070 or are you for it?
Waiting to see what the courts decide. We don't know what 1070 is right now because it's all up for discussion, so we don't know what they're going to do. Once we have a bill there that we can see what's left, look, I've spent a lot of my time fighting illegal immigration, and so I believe we need to fight hard against this issue, but we don't know what 1070 is right now.
I support 1070, and I'll also stand shoulder to shoulder with our governor in trying to turn back these Washington lawsuits of our state, which I think are just wrong. But I do support 1070.
We're going to give each of the candidates, who opened here? Right, you did. Andrei, you did.
Andrei was first.
Okay, Doug, you're going to go first, and for opposing statement. Thank you. It's a minute.
Thank you. In terms of a closing statement, I just once again want to remind you, my name is Doug Ducey. I'm running for state treasurer. Please check out my website, Vote Doug Ducey. I do need help. I do need support. It's hard for an outsider to break in. And what I want to say most of all is thank you to the people in this room for what you've done through the primary season and what you're doing right now. I'll tell you, it's an odd line that you cross when you go from the private sector into public life. And the people in the Tea Parties have made me feel very comfortable and very accepted. And not comfortable that I could give them any question that I wanted, but that they really want what I want. They want to see our government head in the right direction. They believe that good government is possible. And I want to be part of that solution. And so I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for, I see you out in all these different rooms all over the state in Maricopa County, and I get your emails, Mike, and it's the people in this room and the people that are really invested from a time and effort standpoint that are going to turn this around, and they're going to hold people like me, hopefully, that get elected accountable to doing the right thing. Check out the website, Vote Doug Ducey, and thanks for having me.
I want to thank you for letting me come here and talk to you about the issues that are facing our state. We are in very, very dire circumstances when it comes to jobs, when it comes to our budget, when it comes to the deficit and debt that we're putting on the shoulders of the next generation. And we need some dramatic changes here today. And as I said before, I am the fiscal conservative in this race. It's great to have a website with the information that's already out there, but that is not enough. We need to start digging into what's going on with the state spending. I'm going to do that. I know I'm going to make some enemies. I've already started making them on this. But I believe the treasurer has to be somebody who can go in there and do the tough things. I went to the group of all of the elected and appointed bureaucrats from around the state, the League of Cities, and I said to those folks, we're going to start auditing what's going on in state government. We're going to start auditing the legislature. We're going to start auditing the governor's office. We're going to start looking at where your money is going to. And that's going to be tough on them too. And a lot of people there weren't happy about that. But we cannot have people with government credit cards buying themselves $40 steaks and $22 paper movies in the hotel rooms. We won't find that out with the website. We're going to find that out when I'm treasurer, and we're going to start auditing and seeing where every penny has gone. We need your help. Vote Andrei Cherny. Thank you very much.
I want to thank both of these gentlemen. This was an incredibly good debate.